to the beach, go do our swim. Yumiko and I are on an adjusted schedule today. We usually would do our shopping and our house cleaning on Saturday, but our game is a little bit off. This afternoon we went to, or this morning, Yumiko got a hankering for Egg McMuffin. So we went and had breakfast at McDonald's. And we had an absolutely terrific conversation. One of those, you know, in 36 years together, probably one of the top 5 conversations. I can remember maybe 3, 4, maybe now 5 conversations that Yumiko and I have had that have been, you know, what would you call them? Milestones, major milestones. In project management, we identify project milestones and key milestones. Typically, a regular milestone will be identified with a black triangle and a key milestone between the major project phases. The project start, the end of the planning phase, the end of the development phase, the deployment phase, if you have a deployment or an execution phase, if you want to call it that, and then the closure phase. Along the way you have milestones like test phase, or not phase, testing complete, project plan written, things like that. So Yumiko and I have conversations throughout our marriage, and before we were married, throughout our relationship, where we were having these milestone conversations, and then we have these key milestones. And today was kind of a key milestone, just kind of out of the blue. I've been talking to Bob, you know, the old man that lives 2 doors down. He's, you know, that's a whole other story about Bob and his wife. And I've been talking to Bob, and Miko could hear me talking to Bob through the window. And Bob was headed to McDonald's to get the 2 for $4.50 sausage McMuffin deal for him and his wife. And Yumiko came over and she said, that sounded pretty good, what Bob is getting. Let's do that for breakfast, which we never do. We always have lunch on Saturdays together, usually at Tokyo Central. So we decided to switch up the day, go and have go to McDonald's to get the muffins, and then we would not eat at lunch at Tokyo Central, but instead, and then further divide the day. Usually we do shopping and house cleaning on Saturday. We'll do shopping this afternoon and then house cleaning tomorrow. So everything's all switched up. So I'm here at the beach a little earlier than usual to do my afternoon swim. Anyway, she and I sat at McDonald's together, and she had coffees, and we sat there and just kind of started talking about deepness at this stage. And we talked about Yumiko's initial arrival back in Japan and how she'll have that first couple of weeks of settling in. And I reminded her that after she's back, you know, that first week, she'll be living with her father and her sister at their place. And morning, and Dad'll be around doing whatever it is that Dad does, which ain't much. And Yumiko will spend some time with her father. They'll do some things, but after a while, remember, she's done. She's retired. After a while, she'll settle in to the quiet. And I told her a story that I had never shared with her about how when we first went to Japan back in 2003, I was rich. We were rich. I took a year off from anything, and I went and studied. I would ostensibly be studying Japanese in downtown Shizuoka in the mornings, and then I had the afternoons free. This was before I became softypapa. This is before eBay. This is before YouTube. YouTube didn't even exist. I don't think eBay even existed. This was 2003. But that wasn't what made me depressed. What made me depressed was I had nothing to do. I had no purpose. I had no reason to carry on through the afternoon. I wandered around. It was fun for a while, but this is before cell phone. This is before mobile phones, you know, smartphones. there were the flip phones, but none of these technologies were really, it wasn't in a way that I could capture anything, and I was still recovering from America. And I warned her, I said, it lasted about a month, and then the depression started to fill in the empty spots. And I warned her that watch out for that when you get back spots. And I warned her that watch out for that when you get back. But then I kind of had an epiphany. We were talking together, we had an mandate. I mean, sure, we're still vulnerable to that. We had a mandate, which was that we were young adults, we were mid-30s, we had a child. We had to be productive and constructive and be engaged adults with life. We're past that now. We're on the other side. Our work is done. Our duties are met. We raised our daughter. She'll be done with university. All her school is all paid for. We can just I can't say necessarily relax, but we're on the other side. So maybe, just maybe, that'll be different. But I still have my doubts. So I cautioned her to watch out for that. And I mentioned that I'd have to do the same. So it was a cautionary tale. And that led into a variety of interesting discussions, the two of us, related to these ideas. Well, anyway, here I am at the beach. I'm gonna go in and do my swim, maybe do a little reading. Yumiko told me when I left, she said, don't hurry back. She's always been very comfortable with me going alone. Because Yumiko's comfortable alone. I think that's the reason. Yumiko doesn't need me to be at peace or comfortable. She doesn't need me to entertain her. She's quite all right with herself. And that doesn't mean that we don't enjoy being together. We certainly do. And we have lots that we do together. But we also have lots that we can do on our own. And for me, doing stuff like this is an important part of that. So let me set this up, go for my swim. Clearly the connection. So I think I'll sign off all that preamble I gave just a moment ago, and I'm happy that I was able to record what I just recorded with regard to the conversation that Yumiko and I had over breakfast this morning. That was a milestone comment for a conversation, to be sure. So I'll sign off for now. Wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Have a Wabi-Sabi day. Yeah, I like the way that sounds.